What's going on, everybody? This is Lamar with MFN Research, and today we're going to do a deep dive into the gear that I took on my family beach vacation. A couple weeks ago, we went to Destin as a family, and I took some gear with me, and I just thought I'd share the gear that I took with me. I'll share what worked, what didn't really work like I thought it would, and the gear that I wish I had. So instead of going through my packing cubes and stuff like that, it's more of a deep dive and a breakdown of what works. Maybe it'll help you in the future think about what you really need when you're packing for a trip. So now let's begin by talking about some of the gear that worked well. First and foremost, I took 2 flashlights. So I had these guys with me. I had the Olight O-Clip Pro and I had the Ruben X4. We'll do a deep dive into those a little bit later. A lot of this gear on this video is stuff that I've been testing out, so there'll be reviews of these guys in the future, but I'll talk a little bit about them right here. So I'm glad I actually had both flashlights because silly me walked into the ocean with the X4 on me. While it is waterproof, it is not salt waterproof, so that was a fail on my part. Nothing against the flashlight, that was my doing. So glad I had 2 flashlights, and the red light made navigating around in the dark at the Airbnb nice and easy. What I did plan on doing is using this light as a night light in the kids' room, but because I walked into the ocean, couldn't do that as planned. Glad I had 2 flashlights instead of the one that I normally bring. This is probably the MVP of the trip. You've seen this guy in the summer EDC video, and this is just that mission cooling hoodie. I love this thing. I think I'm gonna get like 8 more of these guys. Once again, like I said in the summer EDC video, you just put some water on it, put it on your head, and it's a nice cooling hoodie. It's better to me on the beach than wearing a hat. So definitely gonna have a few of these going forward, have these in different places, especially in the hot weather. So really like that. Next up along that soft goods line, we've talked about this a few times. It needs no introduction in just the nano bag. It's a 19-liter tote that was about this size, and I really appreciated having it with me on the beach. Folded up real nice and small when I didn't need it. It actually fit in the sling that you'll see a little bit later, and it just came in handy anytime we wanted to do any little extra shopping. You use it at the outlets too, so it was really nice to have this guy with me. And again, it takes up almost no space, so there's no risk to having it with you. I had the moleskin with me. I really thought it was beneficial to have, just to jot down my thoughts and kind of reflect on the trip and things like that. And I was actually doing some brainstorming for some videos and some comparison shopping while I was out and everybody was asleep, and it came in handy to jot those notes down and the ideas that I came up with. I'll show some of that in the B-roll, just some of my brainstorming. We'll hide my ugly handwriting, don't judge me for that. And a special guest is back. If you know anything about me on this channel, you know I was a big fan of the Quaco Lilliput that my wife got me, I think for my birthday a few years ago, and I messed around and lost it getting my vehicle inspected. I was waiting and waiting on the price to change. It was in my safe for later on Amazon for a long time, but finally, without further ado, my wife picked it up for me on the birthday, and if you'll notice, that patina is looking phenomenal already. And one of the things that I did do to hopefully not lose it in the future is I picked up the pocket clip for it. So not quite a one-to-one match like I would have liked, but hey, if that's the price I gotta pay to keep it clipped and safe, that's what I'm gonna do. Love this pen. I'm so happy it's back into the rotation. It's probably gonna stay in the rotation, and this will be the primary, and other pens will be the backup. All right, so next up, and not all this stuff is EDC, stuff like that. It's just stuff that I took on the trip. And this one, I've never packed these guys with me before. And these are just the laundry sheets. If you've ever seen my foaming sheets, it's kind of the same idea. Instead of just washing your hands, you just chuck one of these guys in the washing machine and you just wash your clothes with it. It takes up no space in your bag. You can pack this with you. I think this one has 60 loads of washing that it can do. So you can wash 60 loads of clothes with just this little bit if you've got a laundry room or a washer and dryer in your Airbnb or something like that. Definitely came in handy washing those beach clothes and those bathing suits and stuff like that. So definitely recommend taking this with you if you're traveling longer than a few days, or if you got a big group, because I love traveling back home with all my clothes clean. I'll put some B-roll of these. I can't show them to you because they are on my feet right now, and they are the Birkenstock Boston Nova. I think I got it right. If I messed up the name, I'm gonna put it on the screen anyway. I saw these on the Accessorize Me channel, and I just knew I had to have them. And my wife, I guess, heard me talking about them because she picked them up for my birthday as well. Birthday was in July, and it was a great time. Family took great care of me on my birthday, so I'm definitely thankful for them and for that. and this is just one of the many things they did for me. So shout out to the family. Love you guys so much. And this one, I think we talked about, it was an Amazon Prime find, and this was the TomTok T37. Again, I don't know how I feel about these vertical slings, but the organization on this was phenomenal. And I took this with me on the trip. I think a review is coming up on this in a few weeks, so we won't go into too much detail right here, but just know I had it, I liked it, I used it. Still not a big fan on the form factor per se, but for what it is, if you care about the functionality, you can't beat it. And on a lot of travel and EDC videos, I've even done a couple, you talk about the considerations that you have to make because you can't bring your knife, you can't bring your multi-tool because you don't want to check any bags. I say forget that this time. I'm with the family. I'm going to check some stuff, and man, I am so glad I did, because these next two things came in so handy because I checked them, and this was just my little pocket knife. This is the Kaiser Parakeet. Man, I use it so much on the trip. Glad I had this thing. Really glad I had that. And then I had the SOG Power Plank. We don't have to talk about this. I think this is my favorite multi-tool in this size. Is it the best multi-tool? Definitely not. But I think for the size and the functionality that you get, it's pretty solid, and the price. So definitely glad I had these two guys together with me on the trip. Didn't take up any space in the check bag. I just threw them in the check bag that we had, and it was good to go. And special shout out, this is actually the first trip that I've ever taken with the family where we didn't use a Band-Aid. Not a single Band-Aid was consumed on this trip. Never happened before. So just thought I'd throw that in there. And an honorable mention before we go on to some of the tech that worked out for me is we bought my son his first rolling luggage. He wanted dinosaur rolling luggage, and we decided to pick it up for him. Man, he was so happy. And he put his stuff in there. He packed his own clothes. He was super excited. So definitely a nice add for the trip, making things fun. He was rolling around. He felt like a big kid, and so that was cool. So now let's talk about some of the tech that I took. So these, they go everywhere. They're just my AirPods, but what you will notice, I did pick up a new case that I love so much more than that orange case. While I wish this one was orange, I think this one's from ESR, and it is so much better than the case that I had before. Keeping on that headphone train, I had the Bose QC Ultras. I love these headphones. I wish that the Sony, XMH6s came out first, so I could have tried those. I don't think I'm really in the mood to compare those right now, but I really like these, especially for what they are, what they do, the noise canceling, and the comfort is fantastic. Like I talk about a lot of times, a lot of this stuff I use a lot, but sometimes it doesn't work in different situations, and sometimes it works fantastic in certain situations. This is one of those situations where my MiU Mini Plus was great. I mostly used it on the plane and a little bit in the room. I don't think we turned the TV on once, but I really like using this in the Airbnb. I started playing some of the old games. I saw Ninja Turtles for NES on a YouTube video, and I was trying to play that a little bit, so just went on the Ninja Turtles kick this time. So definitely cool to have this with me. You've seen it. I don't need to show it again, but the iPad 11-inch, it's my battle station for my channel, for everything else, for content consumption. Definitely glad I had that with me with the new portfolio stand, and we'll talk about that stand in a video later on as well. And then another one on the Amazon find list was the Nightcore MB Air. This thing is just small and it packed a punch, and it's really well made, so definitely liked having this, throwing it in the TomTok T37. It just fit in there no problem. Could fit it pretty much in any pocket, and I always had it on me. Instead of having your longer cables or your retractable cables, I went with smaller cables. So this is a high speed, high power output cable, and I think this one is a 240 watt cable as well. So I kept my charging really fast, and it didn't take up a lot of space to have both of them. This one, if I needed to transfer some data, and this one was just for power, worked out pretty good. I almost didn't bring this on the trip, but I decided to bring it, and I'm glad I did bring it. And it'll make a little bit more sense when we talk about what didn't work, is this guy. This is the Basis battery bank that I have. I think it's 20,000 milliamp hours. It's usually in my tech bag for my tech EDC. Check that video out to see what I use as my office in a bag tech. And so that's all the tech that I took. So now let's talk about some of the gear that I bought that I had great intentions for, that it really just didn't work out for me. So the first thing, thinking I was going to try to streamline some of the tech carry, is this guy. I thought I was going to take one USB-C brick to rule them all, to have everything plugged in. I had my 3-in-1 charger, and I thought that was all I was going to need. Little did I know that in the Airbnb, it didn't like these high wattage chargers. It liked the basic 15-watt bricks. So those are the only ones that worked in the Airbnb. I don't know if it was something about the humidity or something, but these never worked for me, and I'm so glad, like I said before, I had the basis power bank as a backup. If I didn't have that, I don't know what, I don't know how I would have kept all my stuff charged. I would have had to buy some stuff. And I hate buying stuff when I have the stuff that I need at home, knowing it's just waiting for me. So next up, I had my TomTok tech pouch, and it usually works as a desk caddy for me. I've done a video on this guy as well, so I'll put that in the description as well. I brought this to put my tech in, and it had one more set of things in here, and we'll talk about that in a minute, that I brought. I did bring this. It worked just fine, but thinking about what I carry, thinking about what I used, I could have just went with this and put all my tech and stuff in here and use this as a tech pouch. I could have even taken the straps off if I wanted to, and this would have been just fine. Oh, showed you some of the stuff that I've got in here for the current loadout for this bag. Sorry about that. I had intentions of maybe sneaking and recording a video in the morning or late at night or in the balcony or in the parking lot or at the beach or something. I don't know, getting some B-roll, all that good stuff. I didn't do any of that. I didn't even take any photos. We just spent time hanging out as a family, enjoying the beach. After the jellyfish, it became enjoying the pool. So just hanging out with the family was what I did. So I think on some of these family vacations, I think I'm gonna give up on trying to collect that B-roll. I might take a picture here and there, but with that in mind, or trying to get any talking head video or something like that, it's probably not gonna happen. So I'm just gonna give that up. So that's some stuff that I don't need to take. And so I think on this trip, I think I've officially decided, especially if I'm going with the family, one bag travel isn't gonna work for me. Ooh, before you get on me on the comments, and ooh, why are you paying to check bags? To me, it's a cost inconvenience. If I've got the family, it's gonna be easier to move and navigate and all that stuff if I don't have to worry about a carry-on bag. And actually, I didn't check any bags. The family did. I just had my roller bag and a backpack, and just having that smaller family footprint so I could hand the bag off if I needed to, or I could carry some stuff if I needed to. And I think 2 bags is good for me. I can travel as much as I want for as long as I want with that setup and be good to go and not feel like I have to efficiently try to pack everything and take advantage of every piece of space. Sometimes I just want to throw some crap in the bag and go. I've done 1 bag travel. I've done personal item only travel, and it's cool. I like it, but a lot of times, I mean, you do all that effort, you do all that work, and you're only really saving time, money, and energy on the front and the back end of the trip while you're limiting yourself for the rest of the trip. And if I'm going and moving from a lot of different places on the trip, like I did when I went to Vegas, 1 bag travel might be the move, but if I'm gonna be setting up as a home base, it really doesn't matter. So now let's talk about the stuff that I wish I had. I think most of it I own. Some of the stuff I didn't own between the trip and now, and I picked it up. And then I think there's maybe like 1 thing that I don't own that I might have to pick up in the future. So let's begin with one of the first things that I wish I had. And I think this was in a recent video, some of that gear that makes your life better. Should have taken my own advice and made my life better by taking the Hoto little vacuum blower off. I took the vacuum piece off, and this is just the blower functionality. It's at the beach, ton of sand. Would love to blow the sand off. And I think if you look closely into the SOG, there might still be a little bit of sand in there because I got sand in it. But this could have taken all that sand and blown it off a little bit. I felt like Anakin Skywalker, and I just really hated sand by the end of the beach trip. And this little guy would have made it so much better. And it's really not that big. So it's smaller than a water bottle, and I've got coffee cups bigger than this guy. So definitely wouldn't have taken up too much space. So in my goal to do USB-C, all the things, I wish I would have had, you know, some of these guys. Just the USB-C to A adapters. So when I was having issues with some of my charging bricks, I could have had a USB-A charging brick that my wife had and used that pretty easily, and it would have gave me some more versatility. But because I've been trying for so long to USB-C all the things, I was shorted out. And again, these don't take up any space, or I could have just had 1 USB-C to A cord. That would have taken care of everything too, and not taking up too much space. They come in everything. I mean, I've got 1,000 of them from flashlights and everything else, so could have just stuck one in the bag and been happy. When I traveled for work all the time, I used to keep some of these in the pack, and you can either have the reusable kind or the disposable kind, and that's just some earplugs. Could have had some earplugs because those first 2 nights, I don't know what that animal was outside of the window, but it was making all kind of noise, and I was the only one up hearing that thing. So wish I would have had the earplugs to cover that. So next up, I wish I would have had, and this is the one I was thinking about bringing, but because it doesn't have a luggage pass-through on it anywhere, I didn't bring it. And that is a tote instead of a backpack. Sorry about the noise if the tote got in the way of the microphone, but I wish I had that. Might have to pick one of those up in a little bit, especially for travel and those random days where I don't need a whole bunch of stuff. But I wish I would have had it. I took a backpack. My wife had her tote, and she slid that bad boy under her seat. And as we were sitting on the plane, she was just like, "Oh, you need a snack? Here you go. Easy to get." I had to go and get stuff out. "Oh, you need a charger? Here you go. Easy to get." So that ease of functionality of just reaching in the top, grabbing what you need, sliding it back under the seat, I think a tote might be the all-star personal item in the future, and I'm gonna have to test that at one of these days. And next up, definitely not taking all of this, but I wish I would have brought some paracord. I normally have some paracord, but I was trying a couple different setups and I didn't bring it. The main reason why I wish I had some paracord is my son, my 6-year-old, saw him if you're looking at the community post. He is kind of tall and kind of slim for his age, and he had these pants on that were so big. I wish what we could have done was cut into them with the multi-tool and use some paracord as a little drawstring for him. That would have made the pants fit a little better, and it would have helped us out a little bit on the trip. So that is one of the 108,000 uses of paracord that you could possibly use. Not the most tactical use, but it'll be a lifesaver nonetheless. So next up is this guy. It's just a waterproof sling that I think I picked up when I went on a cruise last year. Would have been handy when I got to the beach and walked into the ocean with my flashlight. It probably would have saved my flashlight and it would still be fine today. Another idea that you could use is check out Suds at Pocket Theory. He did a little waterproof EDC container, and I'm going to definitely put that link in the description because I saw that video pretty much the day I got back in town, and I was like, man, if you would have only came out with this video a week ago, it would have gave me a great idea to add. I picked up these guys as soon as I got back. I wish I had a waterproof speaker. I had it in my Amazon cart, but didn't buy it. Didn't buy this one from Amazon because for the price, I think I got 2 from Costco. So definitely, if you're a Costco member, get them from Costco as well. I think it's like 2 for 40 bucks, if not cheaper. So definitely the way to go on that. So I've got 2. One goes in the backpack to go to the office. So I bought this one for the shower, but most recently used it for a lightsaber battle with my son, playing Star Wars music. So just taking it around the house anywhere. Could have used this on the vacation for kind of the same reason, to be honest with you. Then the last thing that I wish I had, and I don't have one here with me, I've actually never owned one, and I wish I would have had a white noise machine. A couple other nights, I wish I would have had that just to kind of break up the sound a little bit and help me sleep a little bit. What I ended up doing is putting my AirPods in, putting some white noise on YouTube. I think they have like 10-hour videos or something like that, and just listening to that as I went to sleep. But a nice dedicated white noise machine would have been handy. So now that we've gone through what worked, what didn't work, and what I wish I had for my beach vacation, now I'm going to turn it over to you. Let me know what you take on your beach vacations. Let me know what you take on your just overall vacations. What do you have to have? What is that one thing that you thought you were just going to use and get the most use out of that just sucked and you didn't use it? So let me know that stuff. I'd love to hear the feedback. As always, I love to hear the feedback from you guys in the comments. And as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I'm Lamar with MF and Research. There's going to be some videos on the screen. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. I've got more videos coming as always. I'm out.